Hello and welcome everybody. I am Ali Mortimer. I am a life, love and happiness coach, and welcome to today's happy hour. It's not going to be an hour, it's just a few minutes of your time to tap into a little joy, a little happiness, so that I can spread my happiness and joy so that you can go away and spread your happiness and joy. For anybody who is in a little bit of a dark space or a little bit of a grey time and wants to feel good and wants to feel happier. Before I start on today's concept and theme, I'm going to take you back to a time in my life in 2016 when I was in one of those very dark places. My world had just really come crashing down. I had recently lost my mum very sadly, and finally after 10 years of Alzheimer's to pneumonia. And also my most significant relationship was coming under incredible tense pressure and also was breaking down. I had been diagnosed with clinical depression, and this clinical depression to me felt like a huge heavy weight. I remember blogging at the time and writing in my journal that it felt like I was lying underneath the ocean, this heavy oppressive weight where I just couldn't breathe. I was seeing life happening around me through water, basically. I was witnessing my life but never really actually experiencing it. At the same time, I was also, I suppose it's the suffering, isn't it? It's the suffering of PTSD, where literally smells, tastes, words, images, sounds, anything could trigger me back into a feeling and a sense of shock and of shame. And through that period of time, I was also really struggling from insomnia. I couldn't sleep. My mind was so incredibly busy. I could not find peace, and I also couldn't eat. So I was really struggling with eating disorders as well. So there was a lot going on back in 2016. And I'm telling you this story because obviously this was 2016, however many years ago. I'm not going to be quick enough to do the maths. Is that 7 years ago? But I'm obviously here in a very, very happy, light and joyful space. And that is what I love to help other people do. Move out from a really dark, heavy place and into a wonderful, light and positive space. And when I asked myself the question just the other week, how did I move through all of that heaviness and that darkness and get to where I am right now? And there were 7 principles that came to me, 7 ideas, concepts and themes that came to me. And one of them that I wanted to talk to you about today was this one of hope, this keeping a dream alive. And during that time in 2016, I had 2 sons. They at the time were 6 and 8. And I remember I couldn't really do very much because I was really struggling with this clinical depression and PTSD and all of these things going on. And I would get them ready for school, get them to school, and then I would come back home and I would set an alarm to make sure that I remembered to go and pick them up. And during that period of time in that day, I got to work on my healing. I had refused or not taken on the advice of the doctors to take medication. I said, I want to help myself. I want to do this in a holistic way. And I decided to get to work on myself in an holistic way. And I started to work on my mind and on my soul and on my heart. And one of the things I did was, well, there's 2 concepts I want to share with you today, is one was healing through feeling, and one was hoping that I could feel good again, feel happy. I would honour, in that period of time, I would honour all of my feelings and allow the feelings of anger, of shame, of grief, of loss, of utter devastation and sadness to overwhelm my body to a point where then I could find peace afterwards. And in that peace, that is when I tuned into hope, and I kept hope alive, and I allowed myself to feel into how I would want to feel again. I kept the hope of happiness alive. While I could not understand how I was physically going to be able to create an environment and situations and experiences where I was going to feel happy again, I knew that my body knew how to feel happy. So I would close my eyes and I would relax, and I would remind my body and my soul and my heart that it could feel happiness without there being any outside circumstances enabling me to feel happy. and I cultivated that sense and feeling of happiness within my body without the circumstances. I would close my eyes and place my hand on my heart, and I would say, may you be happy, may you be loved, may you be safe, may you be at peace, may I be loved, may I be happy, may I be at peace. And I would just repeat this mantra until I could feel it all in my body. I could feel it in my body until a smile came on my lips and my belly softened and I started to feel it flood through my whole body. And in that feeling of my body, images started to come into my mind, and I could feel myself and see myself in a beautiful garden. And sometimes I was sat there peacefully, just sitting amongst the grass, just feeling this contentment. And sometimes I could see myself dancing with my children in this beautiful garden. 6 months later, my husband invited me to come and look at a property that he was thinking of investing in, either for us or for us to get back together and live together in. And I walked into the house and I immediately sensed a beautiful sense of peace and calm. But it was when the owner invited me to walk through a yew hedge and walk into the garden, I knew that this was the place where I was going to find happiness, where I was going to feel happiness, experience happiness in my outer world, not just in my inner world. And from that moment on, hope became a reality. The hope of happiness turned into the reality of happiness. And I believe it was because I started to cultivate that in my body first, and in my knowing and keeping that hope and trust and faith that that was going to be available to me. If I could feel it, I could believe it would become true. So this concept and theme I wanted to share with you today is one of allowing yourself to honour your feelings, all of the ones that feel uncomfortable, allow them to flow through your body. And once they've flowed through your body, allow yourself to find that peace and that calm, and then bring in hope. Keep the dream alive by allowing yourself to feeling the dream as if it was a reality already. Feel it in your body, feel it in your lips, feel it in your soul, feel it in your heart. Go and allow yourself to absolutely keep that hope, keep that dream alive. Even if you don't know how it's going to happen, go back into understanding why and feeling it in your body first. So I would love for you to take that concept into your journal right now, into your heart space, and go and practice that. This is your permission to dream, to imagine, to feel, to hope, to keep that dream alive of however it is that you want it to feel. Go feel it now. You can. And then it will manifest in reality. That is my wish for you today. I hope you've enjoyed the happy hour today. If this is something that you've loved and really helped you, please leave me some hearts in the comments below. If you know somebody in your world who is in a really dark place at the moment, please do invite them to come and follow the happy hour. Please do tag them in the comments. Please do share it with them privately. I will look forward to seeing you next week in the happy hour, back on Monday at midday. Lots of love.